Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the Mental Wellness channel with Waihiga. If you're new here, I hope that you stick around and take a listen to what I have to share. Today I want to talk about how alcoholism is a family disease. Do not be fooled. Alcoholism is a family disease. If you're new here, I am Waihiga. I am a recovering alcoholic and I have 6 years in sobriety. And it has taken me forever to understand and to begin to understand that alcoholism is a family disease. Yes, I am the alcoholic in the family. However, alcoholism, the ism part, is rampant in my family. My grandfather was an alcoholic. I believe he was an alcoholic. From the stories I hear about his drinking, he definitely sounded like an alcoholic. And nobody in that family got help for dealing with an alcoholic. So my mom, my dad, my aunties, my uncles, they all dealt with that. And when they left their homes, that home, the alcoholic home, and they went into their own homes and they made their own lives, they had the ism. They didn't have the alcoholic part, but they had the ism part, the discontentment, the irritation, all the character defects that come with being alcoholic minus the drinking. And so for some reason, they chose to live in these patterns in life, and then it got passed down to me in the way I was brought up. And my childhood traumas became my defenses for when my childhood traumas became my defects of character, which became my defenses. And when I was able to drink, that's where I channeled my pain. However, now that I'm sober and clean, I've reverted back to heavily relying on my character defects. Things such as living in a place of isolation, living in a place of fear. When I am making decisions out of fear, my life is completely insane. Living in a place of judgment, constantly judging what you are doing and what I'm not doing. Living in a place where I'm constantly people pleasing because I need people to be on my team. Living in a place where I am not speaking my truth, suppressing my voice, suffocating my voice, not being true to myself because I need people to love me, to want me. Living from a place where I have a deep, deep, deep fear of abandonment. So it's almost like I will tolerate any sort of abuse in order to not be left alone. And the past year, I have been in a situation, in a living arrangement in which these character defects have really come to the surface. And I've realized that I'm not the only one who has a problem here. All my life I've been told, you are the problem. You are the problem. It's only you that has the problem. You're the one that is moody. You're the one that's depressed. You're the one that's the alcoholic. You're the one. And I've always assumed it to be me because trouble followed me everywhere. However, when I started getting healthy, when I got into a 12-step program and I got sober, and if you struggle with drinking, I really, really urge you to get yourself into a 12-step program, look for a sponsor, get the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous and start working the 12 steps. Get your freedom from bondage. When I started getting healthy, a lot of dependencies have been broken in the program, or in any 12-step program, but rather in the 12-step program for alcoholics. We talk about how the dependency on people, places, and things must be broken. I depended heavily on people to complete me. I depended heavily on things such as alcohol to fulfill me. I depended heavily on places, prestige, to fulfill me. Money, prestige, job, status, to give me a self-esteem. However, my dependency upon those three things have been broken one by one, and it is incredibly painful. Incredibly painful. But all that dependency has now been put on God. And God has been showing me answers. Has been giving me answers. Answers to questions I have had for so long. So what I would say about what I understand as alcoholism being a family disease is that the person who drinks is sick, and the people who drink as well, as who don't drink, So the person who drinks is sick, and the people who don't drink as well are sick. And everybody is pointing fingers in the family. They're all like, you're the alcoholic, you're the one that needs help, you're the one who's damaged our family, you're the one, you're the one, you're the one. So when everybody is pointing fingers at the alcoholic or the addict or the one with the obvious problem, everybody denies and scapegoats all their issues onto this one person. Yet the family is deflecting and pretending that they themselves don't have problems. So everybody is acting and pretending like they are perfect, like they are fine, like they don't have any shortcomings, like they are perfectionists, they are just fine, life is just dandy for them. But this person, this black sheep of the family, this addict, this alcoholic, something is clearly, obviously very wrong with them. And they have just so much hatred in their heart because they just are ruining their lives by drinking or by smoking or by doing this or by doing that, which is so obviously wrong. And I think what the alcoholic or any addict in a family exposes is the fact that we are just exposing the fact that the family is dysfunctional. The family we have come out of is dysfunctional. There is an element of dysfunctionality in that family. There is. I mean, from my experience, I'm not talking about you and your families. I don't know how your families are. But in my experience, what the alcoholic or the addict is exposing of any family setting that I have seen and I have observed, they are exposing an element of dysfunction. It's like the alcoholic is just, or the addict is just wearing all their scars like out in the open, because drinking, obviously, being a drunk, it looks bad. It obviously looks bad. It's uncontrollable. A heroin addict, taking drugs and narcotics to that extent obviously looks bad and it's socially unacceptable. Yet every single person I know has a vice. Every single person I know has a vice. Some people use religiosity, some people use spirituality, some people use God as their vice, Some people use control as their vice. Some people use anger as their vice. Some people are psychopaths, Some people are narcissists. Some people are sociopaths. And others are like me who are alcoholics. We turn to substances to soothe the pain. Other people turn to sex. Other people turn to love. Other people, they're just in one relationship to the next relationship to the next relationship. How it looks to the world is that some things are socially acceptable, like you can be addicted to your work. That looks good, that's an amazing grind. You can be addicted to exercise, that you look good, you feel good, aesthetically pleasing to the eye. That's amazing. But there are just certain things that can't be your vice, like alcohol, because, you look out of control. Drugs can't be your vice because you look out of control. Sex can't be your vice, well, as a woman, because you look like but for a man, absolutely it can be your vice because, the world isn't judging you on how many bodies you have. So every person in this world has a vice. Let us not kid ourselves and say, because you're an alcoholic, you're the bad one. You're the one that ruined our family. It's not true. Every single person in that family is sick. And every single person in that family needs a program of action and needs a program of recovery. If you grew up in an alcoholic family, you need to be in a program of recovery. Whether your parent or the alcoholic is no longer in your life anymore, it doesn't matter. You need to be in a program of recovery because you have learned character defects which you used as defense mechanisms when you were growing up, but now they're character defects and you were using them badly with other people. You're using them with your children, you're using them on your spouse, you were using them unknowingly probably to the people closest around you, and it hurts. It really, really hurts. It's painful work. It's painful work. to live with an alcoholic, to know an alcoholic, to grow up with an alcoholic, having grown up with an alcoholic spouse or a parent, and don't lie, every single person has been touched by alcoholism in one way or another. If you are not the alcoholic, your brother is an alcoholic, your cousin is an alcoholic, your father was an alcoholic, your sister, somebody in the family is an alcoholic. And it affects each and every single person. Whether you're drinking, the one drinking, the alcoholic, or you're the non-alcoholic, it affects each of us. And that is why it is good for us to be in a program. For me as the alcoholic, I go to AA. For friends and families of the program of alcoholics, it's good for them to go to Al-Anon or CODA. If you're codependent meetings, if you're in a relationship with someone and you feel like your lives are too enmeshed with each other, you don't know where your life ends and where theirs start. You're not individuals anymore. You've just become one, which I feel like we live in a society like that. Everyone is looking for the one to complete them. And that is not what life is supposed to be about. You're supposed to look for a partner to complement you, a partner to do life with, not to help you get through life, like to complete you like your life, to help you do the emotional work, to help you pay your bills. That is not what finding the one means, in my opinion. So absolutely, alcoholism is a family disease. And when one member of the alcoholic family starts to get sober and realizes how unhealthy the family unit is, it's a mess. But we thank God, because what the devil tried to kill, steal, and destroy with alcoholism, God has given us a program of action, which is a 12-step program. 12-step programs, whether it's Al-Anon, whether it's Alcoholics Anonymous, there is a 12-step program in which the friends or family members of alcoholics can go to. There is a program for alcoholics that we can go to and sit there and change. Have a true spiritual and profound psychic change in personality, in which we are able to withstand whatever life brings at us sober, without drinking, without killing anyone, without doing lots of nefarious things that we can do if left to our own vices. So far, that is what I am learning about alcoholism as a family disease. I hope that you liked this video. If you're learning anything from my channel, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Join the mental wellness family. Let us grow this community. I will definitely be doing more on a series about this. I'm learning more about alcoholism as a family disease. And the more I learn about it, the more I'll talk about it, as I always do. The more I learn, the more I will share. Kindly subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching and making it to this point in this video. Until next time, bye-bye.